Brothers and sisters, thank you for joining me today. So this is just a completion of the videos, the videos that I've done. So it's part 1 through part 10, and it was the all the symbolism of what the scriptures are actually teaching us. And so as we see the symbolism of what Esther and Queen Vashti and the king and Mordecai and Haman and what that all stood for, may we begin to see the symbolism of what is happening now in the world through these scriptures. So there's 2 things I need to correct from the videos. So when I had said, I knew it was an oyster shell, but I kept saying clamshell because I had written clam at the top of the page. So every time I kept talking about the pearls, I was saying clam, and I meant oyster. So I need to correct that. I just need to make sure that I'm speaking with clarity and exactness in what I'm saying. And then I had, hold on just a minute. Sorry about that. And then I had said that the gallows were for Esther and her people. No, the gallows were for Mordecai. So Mordecai, we understand that he represents the teacher. Well, who's supposed to be the master teacher in our life? The master teacher is supposed to be Christ. And so what does Satan, which was representation of Haman, what does that represent now in our life? So Haman absolutely wanted to destroy Mordecai and his people. So destruction of the kingdom. And that is the enticement that Haman had the king enticed in, to the point that he was able to sign a death decree for his own queen, not even realizing what he was doing. So when we look at it from that perspective, we see it's no different today. What does Satan desire more than anything? He desires to destroy the kingdoms, destroy the kingdom as a whole. And then, from the dream of October 24th of 21, so in April, that will be 3.5 years ago that dream was given. And it's coming to its fulfillment of what that means. So at the part 2 of that dream, Father had asked me to go in and warn the sons of God. And so the next videos are going to go into those warnings, because if the sons of God do not remember who they are, their kingdoms will fall, and those repercussions, they're eternal repercussions. And so it's stepping into who they are and remembering who they are. So in this next, series of videos that I'm going to do, it's on the symbolism of Adam and Eve. And as they've had me talk about the symbolism of, Queen Vashti and Esther and the king and Mordecai and Haman, we will see the symbolism now of the women had to rise first. And so we will see the symbolism of the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And that has to do with Adam and Eve. And that the women at this point have been doing the work, have been doing the healing. And what happened to Adam, why the helpmate was being prepared by God for him, he was put into a deep sleep. And so these men have been deeply asleep, why the helpmates have been being prepared for them. And so we're going to go into the symbolism of that. But brothers and sisters, I hope that we can start to see the beauty of these scriptures, as the people's names are cleared, the beauty of what was being taught was given. We have such a small, I can't even explain how small of a portion of an event in scripture. There's so much more to the story, and that's why the family is here, because the Ark of the Covenant holds the truths of those stories within them. And because they are the testimonies, they are the experiences that God has put his people through. And so the Ark of the Covenant is the testimony of the people. And so we're here to share those records, and seeing the beauty in what was actually being given, and then understanding anyone that has journaled as they've received revelation, there's so much more given than what they can even write. The experiences that we go through is so much more than we can even write. You're literally getting nothing but like a drop of water compared to the full experience of what actually happened. And that's why it's so important to be in the Spirit, be able to allow the Lord to unveil these scriptures for you. So I encourage you all to read Esther and understand the patriarchal dominance and how sexual sin got brought in, and the suppression of the woman, and that women had to honor their husbands no matter what, and instead of seeing the true beauty of marriage and honoring and respecting both, standing as one, like we are supposed to as husbands and wives. We're supposed to stand as one. So it's learning what true submission is, not false tradition, not false submission as the world has taught us. So anyway, in the next videos, I'm going to start on the symbolism of Adam and Eve, and it's going to be glorious and beautiful, and just seeing these scriptures from a whole new light so that we can really grasp what was being done and what was being learned and the growth given, because growth is how we progress, and without that growth there's no purpose in us being here. So seeing the growth that's available for all of us, and the examples that these beautiful women and the sons were teaching us. And so anyway, I appreciate you guys going through these videos. If you have not watched them, there's part 1 through part 10 now for these, and then I will move on to the symbolism of Adam and Eve. Have a glorious day.